Today we're talking about the fashion items that you will always regret buying. They're the items that are taking up space in your wardrobe, collecting dust. They're the items that you look at and think to yourself, why? What was I thinking? Why did I spend my hard-earned money on that? Well, this video is to stop you buying items like that in the future and end up with a wardrobe that you're happy with. If you do enjoy this video, feel free to leave it a like. And now let's get into the fashion items that you will always regret buying. Have you ever found a piece of clothing that you love so much that you decide to pick up the same item of clothing in every colour available? Or have you stopped yourself buying an item in a colour that you like the most just because you think you've got too much of that colour in your wardrobe already and you need some more variety? The problem is you're always going to want to wear that item in the colour that you like the best, so any of the other colours that you're not so fond of, you're not going to be as happy in. The lesser liked colours get pushed to the back of the wardrobe and you think to yourself, why didn't I just get the black pair? Yes, variety is nice, but only if you like wearing those other items. There's nothing wrong with having a wardrobe made up of similar items or similar coloured items if you're going to wear those items and if you're going to enjoy wearing those items. So buy the items and colours you like best and ditch the rest. This next one is pretty much common sense, but it needed to be on the list. It's all about buying uncomfortable shoes. We've all been here, I'm sure. You see a beautiful pair of shoes that you fall in love with, you try them on, and they're really uncomfortable. You know they're going to mess your feet up. You know you're not going to be able to walk well in them, but you buy them anyway. The same thing again when a shoe shop doesn't have the shoes you want in your size, but you just buy them in the size down or the size up anyway, even if they don't feel good on your feet. Good stuff. You are now the proud owner of a pair of shoes that are going to tear your feet apart, or just spend their life sitting on a shelf. I know it's hard to resist a nice pair of shoes, but if they're so uncomfortable that they're unwearable, there's no point in having them. There's plenty of other shoes out there which you can put your money towards. I think the only benefit of having a beautiful pair of shoes that are too uncomfortable to wear is they're always going to be clean because you won't be wearing them, so they'll always look good on Instagram. The next item that you'll always regret buying is anything that you can't sell on. We all get bored of certain items eventually, no matter how much you may have liked it when you first bought it. And if you're like me, I like to sell these items on and put the money towards something new. Some items are easier to sell than others, but I find cheaper items and trending items, after they've stopped trending, the hardest ones to sell. With trending items, once that trend has died down, people would have moved on to the next trend, and no one's going to be that interested in buying it off you. And with cheaper items, you're not going to make any money off them because people can buy them brand new for cheap anyway. Sometimes it's not a bad idea to spend a bit more on good quality, timeless pieces that will hold their value. You'll get a lot of wear out of those pieces, and if you do decide to sell them, you'll probably make most of your money back. So it's win-win. So don't always think of items in terms of their initial cost. Think to yourself, am I going to be able to sell that item on and make the majority of my money back? And am I going to get a lot of wear out of that item? If the answer is yes, then it might be worth spending a bit more. The next one, I'm sure we've all done this one way too much, but that's buying stuff in the sale just because it's in the sale. This sometimes happens when you see your favourite designer, but you don't necessarily like the item that much, but you just buy it anyway because you like the designer, it's in the sale, why not? You also think to yourself, I might not like it now, but one day maybe I'll wear it, so it's good to have that item in my wardrobe. Most of the time, you never end up wearing that item of clothing, and it just takes up space in your wardrobe. An item in the sale is never a good deal if you don't need or love that item, so save your money and put it towards something that you love. The next item that you always regret buying is an item that looks good on someone else but doesn't suit you. Unfortunately, not everything that works for other people is necessarily going to work for you, so if it doesn't suit you, I'd recommend not buying it. You're always going to feel a little bit annoyed when you're wearing that item that it doesn't look as good as you as you've seen it on someone else. Different clothing works for different people, so there's going to be items of clothing that work well for you and not so much for others. So dress for you and wear what suits you best. And by doing that, you're going to have your own style. Next, we've got buying affordable alternatives to the items that we love. Buying more affordable alternatives can work out well sometimes, but I find when I've got my heart really set on something, I'm never quite happy with the alternative. When I love something that much, each flaw or each difference on the alternative model, no matter how small, stands out like a sore thumb to me, even if other people don't notice it. I remember when I first wanted a pair of Common Projects Achilles Low, but I didn't want to spend £290 on a pair of shoes for the obvious reasons. I searched high and low for the best alternative out there, and I bought several of them. With each pair, no matter how good the quality or how close they came to the Common Project's Achilles low, I was never really happy with them. In my head, they were always a more affordable alternative to the shoe that I really loved and really wanted, and I didn't wear them because of this. And in the end, I took the plunge and I did end up buying the Common Project's Achilles low anyway. So by trying to save money buying more affordable alternatives, I actually ended up spending more than I would have if I'd have just bought the Common Projects in the first place. Also, in regards to my earlier point about selling items on, even though Common Projects are expensive, they do tend to hold their value. So if I do get bored of them, I can sell them on and make a good chunk of my money back, which may not be as easy with the alternative models. Sometimes if you've got your heart set on something, it's best to just save up and buy the item that you love, because you can end up spending a load of money on alternatives and you're never quite happy with them. There are plenty of other things that I could have added to this list, but these are the main points that I wanted to make in this video. I hope this helps you out with future purchases and gets you thinking a little bit more, and hopefully you'll have a wardrobe that you're happier with. If you enjoyed this video, please do leave it a like. If you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I will see you all next week. It's really hot in here, so I'm looking forward to finishing this one. See you later, everyone. See ya.